Hi, I'm Nicolina Werther, and this is an extended version of a mindful self-compassion meditation. It will include a body scan and also self-compassion phrases and questions. And to begin with, make sure you're sitting comfortably, either on a chair, a meditation cushion, or you might even want to lie down. And just make sure you're comfortable but can also stay awake and alert. And to really settle in, we just tune into our body and in particular to our breath for a few moments. So just notice where you feel your breath most obviously. In your nose or your throat, chest, but maybe it's in your belly, and you can just go with the rise and the fall of your belly or your chest, and just notice that. Following in and out. And again, in and out. And staying with that. And as always, when you noticed that your mind has started to wander and it was taken over by ideas or thoughts or feelings, images, you just gently bring it back to whatever you've been focusing on before. And you notice that, no need to judge it. And now we start going through our body, and we start with our feet. So just maybe notice your toes without wiggling them. How are they feeling? Are they warm or cold? Can you feel them? And you can even extend that to the soles of your feet. How much ground and earth and soil and roads have these feet walked or touched? So you can extend that to your whole foot, also the top of your foot and the sides, the bones and the muscles and the tendons. And just maybe take a moment to notice how they feel. And then thank them. Thank them for all that carrying around that they've been doing with you. Most of the time we don't even notice what they do for us. All these possibly thousands of kilometers or miles they've been walking, or cycling, or sitting somewhere patiently. And you can, also spread it into the ankles and how well they've been functioning for you. Or maybe sometimes they haven't. Or maybe sometimes they were not cooperating with you in the way you thought they should. And then that's also fine to notice. And you can still thank them for that, what they have been able to do, and maybe even for the times where they tried to send you maybe a message that you weren't able to hear at the time. And before we move on, you can just check in any part of your foot and ankle. Has it changed? Has the temperature changed? Do they feel lighter or heavier? Is there a tingling? Or maybe nothing. It's all the same. And then we move into our shins. And the other lower parts of our legs. How are they doing? Is there maybe a tight muscle somewhere? Maybe they're fine, they're pleasant. They too work really hard for us. So maybe just take a few moments and just be with them. Thank them if you like. Appreciate them. Notice if there are any other sensations coming up in all these areas that we've touched so far, especially in your lower legs. And then we're moving into the knees. How are your knees? First of all, are they bent or straight? Do they like that shape they're in? And sometimes when we move through our body parts, of course, we can also, in the background, notice that maybe another part of our body wants to release or shift. But if you notice that, then you just notice it, and then you come back to the part we were just at. Or maybe if you listen with all of your being, you might notice if your knees want to tell you anything. And maybe they're just happy and fine and quiet and they have nothing to say. And then you can move into the upper part of your legs, into the bones and the muscles of your thighs, hamstrings, all those big muscles that, again, they do a lot of work for us. Maybe take a moment. What have your legs been doing for you? Walking, cycling, we said. Have you been dancing with them? Or jumping? Running towards someone you love? Running away from something that was dangerous? Where have they been there for you? And maybe something comes to your mind where they haven't been there for you. And then we can acknowledge that too. How do your legs feel now? The whole of your legs, or maybe even your feet. Maybe there's more weight on one side than the other. And then we're moving into our hips, our groins, the genital area, and the big muscles on our bottom. What is that area communicating to yourself? Is it relaxed? Can you notice there's some tension, as it can happen in the hips quite often? And if you're sitting, you might notice where, your limbs are bent, or if there's more heat in one part than the other. Are they giving you a firm base? Is it stable? Maybe you even started to rock slightly while we're moving through your body. And then you might notice that movement in your hips again. And then we're moving into our lower abdomen, intestines. How are they doing? Are they chew, they process your food. Not chew, they process your food every day. Working really hard. And we can thank that they're doing that for us. Do they feel calm now? Or maybe they're agitated a bit. Maybe you've been eating recently. Or maybe you're hungry. You might notice feelings coming up as well when you tune into that area. And you might want to extend it to your stomach, which of course is also very important when it comes to food processing. Is that feeling different in your intestines? And a big thank you to your stomach for holding all those foods and the nutrients and the drinks and everything we consume every day. And there's also your liver, of course, on the other side, more or less, which also is really involved in making sure that your body is at its best and that it works really well. And it might appreciate certain foods more than others. Maybe it's telling you that. Maybe it's absolutely happy. Maybe it's not. And then, either way, we can send it a lot of love. It's doing its best, whatever the circumstances. And sometimes, like we ourselves as human beings, we come into this world with a bit less optimal conditions, and then again, all your organs are still doing their best under their circumstances. And sometimes they might need extra help. And now maybe also move through your lower back. So what's going on there? Or maybe you notice that there's still some tension or something, or you notice nothing. It's just holding you nicely upright. Maybe you even notice different vertebrae. And let's move, and your kidneys are there as well. Your adrenal glands, they might be working quite hard sometimes. Maybe you can feel them. Maybe it's a mystery to you even where they are, but you just know they're all there working for you day in, day out. And just send them some love and relaxation. They can always do with that. And we can move into our chest, so coming back to the front of the body, to our lungs. How are they feeling? Breathing this whole time, in and out. Do you feel you breathe easily? Or does it feel effortful? And how wonderful that we can breathe, that we have our lungs, and that they're most likely fully functioning. How wonderful does that feel to just lightly be able to breathe in and out? And of course there's also your heart, your big beautiful heart. How's that doing? Do you notice anything coming up when you tune in there? A shift in sensations, and emotions, a thought, an image. That too beats the whole time. Making sure that your blood is going to every little cell, every bit of your body that needs it. Does your heart long for anything? If you feel drawn at any point to put a hand over your heart or even your belly or something, feel free to do that. And we're sending a lot more love to our heart, and an extra little bit, because it's been supporting us so well for all these years and years and years, and even more years and years and years to come. And let's just check in with the back of our upper body, so our upper back, including the shoulder blades and where they're sitting, the shoulders. How are all your ribs doing? There's a lot of tension often in our upper bodies, but maybe there's nothing. And again, we're not quite through our whole spine, but maybe we can thank our spine for holding us upright and being flexible and bendable and being able to turn in so many different directions. And just let yourself feel. Maybe you can really feel your bones, or at least the things that are attached to your bones. And same with your shoulders and your shoulder blades on the back. Do they sit lightly? Are they just freely hanging down from your collarbones? Or do you feel you need to hold them? Do you feel like you need to protect against something? Or is your chest open? And your shoulders back? Don't change anything, just notice. And notice what a wonderful anatomical wonder your body is. How many things you can do with it. And if you're drawn to already move into your neck, and do that, because of course that's attached to our spine and the shoulders. And again, just be aware if there's anything coming up when you particularly tune into that area. Sometimes it's just a simple sensation of lightness, heaviness, warmth, tingling, itching. And if you follow it spreading through another part of your body, you might do that for a moment, and then you bring it back to the neck, the shoulders, and also the throat. How's that doing? Not only does it always transport air and food and drink, that's where your voice comes from. How wonderful is it to have a voice and to be able to communicate through voice? And before we move to our head, let's just go back to our shoulders, into the actual shoulders. And also the upper part of our arms. All those wonderful muscles there and the bones. And you can notice if you're more drawn to one side than the other, or if you're going through both at the same time. Or maybe it's even difficult for you and easier just to do one at a time, then you do that. Or you just notice a difference between the two. And also move into your elbows. Again, as we did with the knees, you can just notice if they're bent and to in which angle. If you're holding any muscles there that you actually don't need to hold right now. And into your forearms. Again, everything there, tendons, muscles, bones, the skin, the hair on your skin, the veins, the blood. Maybe you notice something that you haven't before. And isn't it wonderful that your arms function so well and you can bend them in all directions, almost. And you can carry heavy, heavy things, right? You possibly build your muscles over the years to be able to carry a child, maybe. Or something else that you cherish. And you might also need your hands for that, so let's move into your hands. The inside, maybe, if your hands are open, let's move into the inside of your hands first. How's that feeling there? And depending on how open or closed your hands are, you might notice if there's maybe a bit of moisture, or if they're dry, if they're warm. You can also go through the inside of your fingers. How bent are they? Do you feel there are more sensations rushing through them while we go through them? Or maybe you don't feel them at all. And let's also go to the back of our hands without moving them. Just noticing how they feel and if they're resting on something. Or maybe it's the inside which is resting, or the side. And again, also the backs of the fingers. How do they feel when you give them that much attention? And again, let's thank our fingers. May God, what are we doing? We are writing, we're making flower bouquets, maybe. We're cooking, drawing, dressing ourselves. Woodworking, I don't know what you do with your hands, but I guess it's quite a lot throughout the day. Typing. And how wonderful that we can teach them such subtle movements like typing or playing an instrument or, doing any particular type of craft. And again, let's just give thanks to our hands and arms for being able to hold someone we love, or again, to be able to dress ourselves, hold ourselves, being able to wash our own hair or shower, to point out what we like or what we don't like, and to dance. You can dance also with your arms. And when you feel like you've given them all the love and attention you can for right now, or you want for right now, we come back to our throat and neck for a moment. And notice if they feel any different than before, or even the shoulders, or the same. And also in your throat, you might notice the breath going in and out, as you might have noticed already in other parts of your body. And then we are slowly starting to move into the head. So maybe start first to really go to the end of your spine that we started with in the neck. Where does that end? Can you feel how your skull sits on top of it? Maybe let's stay with the back of the head for now and just, become aware of your skull, the back of your head, the skin maybe. Any sensations there? Can go right up to the top of your head, the back of your ears as well. Maybe let's include the ears. There's so much interesting stuff going on there, right? Ears with which we can hear. You can hear my voice right now. Music, birds, and then the whole skull, it's just holding your brain. Your brain is doing a pretty amazing job. It's been keeping you alive until now, at least. That's its job. So let's thank our brains. I think sometimes we think we have crazy brains up there, but actually we have usually very amazing brains that do exactly what they were designed for. How does that feel if you try to relax your brain? And you might be naturally drawn also to the more front of your head, going over the top of your head, down to your forehead. When you tune into your brain, that might happen. Otherwise, you can go there now. How's your forehead doing? Did you feel you were holding any tension there? Did it feel warm or cold? Do you feel like you're getting thoughts and opinions when you tune in there? And maybe also down the temples. What's happening there? Sometimes we can feel a little pulse or pressure, warmth. And at other times we feel nothing. Maybe let's work our way down first to our chin. How's that doing? And your jaw. Maybe check your jaw as well, how that's inside your skull sitting. You can even check in on your teeth. How are they doing? And down your tongue. How amazing it is, right? We can chew, we can taste. What would we do if we couldn't do that? And you have your lips there. They are super sensitive, of course, as well. Which can be really, really beautiful. And if you come across any part of your body where you feel like, I wish that would be different, behaving differently, being differently, then just be with it as it is for now. And maybe you can even thank it anyway. And let's also move up our nose, our cheeks, any parts there that we haven't looked at, felt yet. You might become aware of your sense of smell. Maybe a particular smell comes to your mind when I say that. Maybe you can even feel the little hair inside your nose. And let's move towards our eyes, including our brows. How's that area doing? Is there anything that wants to release? Or maybe you're so relaxed by now that you already released everything you could. And let's give a huge thanks to our eyes, and that we can see. And all the wonderful and sometimes maybe not so wonderful things we can see with our eyes, but how they help us to orient, to make sense of the world, to notice things that are familiar and unfamiliar. And again, recognize the things we really love and cherish, the people, animals, plants, things, artwork. And just have a check, look through your face, feel through your face. If there's any other, maybe little muscle that wants to release. And you might want to extend that slowly through other parts of your body, going all the way back down through your neck and throat into your upper and lower part of your torso, your hips, your legs, your feet, and just ask it, is there anything else that wants to release right now? And if you feel like you're in a pleasant state now, you could stop the meditation here and slowly come back to yourself. Or I will continue and offer some more so-called loving kindness phrases. So these phrases are similar to a metta meditation or something, where we just offer kindness and gentleness to ourselves and tune in even a bit more. If you want to do that now, then just make sure you're still very present and can stay in your body. Once again, noticing if anything in particular draws your attention. And again, maybe you want to put a hand on your heart or somewhere else that feels soothing to you. And you can just tell to yourself in your head, or if you feel and are free to do so also out loud, may I be kind to myself. May I be kind to myself. May I be understanding of myself. May I be kind and understanding of myself. May I fully accept myself as I am. May I fully accept myself as I am. May I be compassionate with myself. May I be compassionate with myself. And if at any point you notice that your mind starts to wander, or maybe there's an opinion about these phrases, you can just notice and maybe put your awareness back into your breath, or Maybe your heart is a good place to be right now. And then you can continue. Again, maybe you want to start with, may I be kind to myself. May I be kind to myself. May I accept myself during difficult situations. May I accept myself during difficult situations when I maybe didn't act as I wanted to do. So may I also accept my reactions as they are. May I feel safe. May I feel safe in my own body, in my own home, with those close to me, as well as in the world and with those whom I don't know yet. May I feel peaceful. May I feel peaceful. May I feel happy. May I feel happy. May I feel free. May I feel free. May I feel healthy. May I feel healthy. May I feel strong. May I feel strong in my body and my ways of being. May I feel loved. May I feel loved, accepted, and recognized. May I feel supported and respected. May I feel abundant. May I be able to trust that I always will have everything I need. May I be able to thank my body for being there for me and also for sending me messages in the forms of tensions or pains or strains when it has to communicate something with me. May I be able to forgive those who have hurt me. And may I be able to forgive myself for those that I have hurt, often out of our own ignorance and fear and pain. May I know what it feels like to have direction, courage, healthy desires, and be forgiving towards myself when I criticize myself for so-called unhealthy desires. May I know what it feels like to live with ease. May I know what it feels like to feel happy, free, and to be able to live with ease. And you can ask yourself, is there anything else that I would like to hear? May I know what it feels to be appreciated? Or maybe you need to repeat a sentence to let it sink in a little deeper. May I know what it feels like to be loved, appreciated? May I know what it feels like to be celebrated? May I know what it feels like to be accepted and to be accepting of myself? And maybe there's something where you feel like, I need to hear this, not now, but for the rest of my life, or at least the next decade. What is that? What else do you need to hear? Maybe something, may I be able to trust that I'll be okay? That I will always be looked after? What is your version, your sentence? I'll be silent for a while so you can see what's coming up for you. Is there anything else you need in this moment? Or going forward? So you can either stop the meditation and stay here, or otherwise we'll slowly come back out of it. You might want to take a deep breath for that. In and out. And another one. You might still keep your eyes closed for a moment. I would encourage you to, again, notice what's happening in your body. Has it gone very still? Or is there the need to move? Does it feel like you've been sitting or lying too long on the same spot? Or does it just want to stay as it is? But if you want to really fully come out, I suggest you start to move. Maybe your shoulders, maybe your torso, twisting, turning back and forth. Maybe your legs and your arms, your neck, your head. Maybe you do a few head rolls. Take another deep breath, and maybe you want to stretch a little. And sometimes it helps to gently rub or pat, our face, our arms, neck, head, back, front, legs, any parts you can reach. Just wrap them awake or tap them slightly awake. Or just continue stretching, wherever your body needs. And maybe you want to open your eyes while you do it. And when you feel like your body is waking up again, and again, if you haven't done yet so, do open your eyes. And make sure you reorient yourself in the room and you know where you are. And another deep breath, and that's you back in the room.